young and talented teams tango tonight at the Colt Corral, where Clear Fork will make their season debut under the lights against visiting Wooster, an old conference rival from the OCC. It's our season kickoff to high school girls soccer, streaming live and free exclusively on the OH Report. Coming your way next.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Clear Fork and Wooster just about set for action to kick off our coverage of girls soccer for the 2021 season. They're booted, suited, and set to go. Coming your way here in just a moment. But first, we honor America with the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Once again, welcome into the fabulous Colt Corral in Belleville, Ohio for the J&F Construction pregame show. My name is Brian Skorowski, joined by the one and only Jesse Ryder. And Jesse, we're talking about a Clear Fork team that we're about to see here tonight that we called young last season. They were the bunch that you looked at with a bunch of talent, except for it was a lot of freshmen. they're packed with sophomores now, but these sophomores have experience. So, in your opinion, you can really only be young for about one season, right?
I think you're absolutely right. I think you get the luxury of saying, hey, it's kind of a rebuilding year. We're young and we've got a lot of talent here. So I think at a program like Clear Fork, I think you get to say it 1 year because the players, the coaching staff, the team is so all in for everything. So you're going to be young 1 year, but the expectation then is, listen, we had that year of experience. Everybody's working hard. The training's been great, and so you come out with high expectations. Even though you've got a large sophomore class represented on the varsity squad, I think expectations are still pretty high for this Clear Fork team.
And for Wooster, another team that you could say a little bit younger. They've got quite a few kids that are going to be on the lineup today that are freshmen and juniors, or sophomores and juniors, I should say. They opened up the season with a loss to Jesse, shut out in their first match a season ago, averaged less than 2 goals per game, as did Clear Fork. So the big question in your mind for what's going to settle the score here tonight is who can score? Who can find that offense?
Absolutely. That was kind of one of the holding points for last year for that Clear Fork team is there was talent in a lot of different positions. They did not score goals in large bunches and a lot of times. It looks like tonight there's some energy amongst this squad. I think one of the things that's going to be key tonight, it's hot. It's very hot out there. And as you're looking through the rosters, Clear Fork's probably got 16, 17 girls who they're going to rotate through and probably quickly into the game, where Wooster really has, I'm looking like maybe 12 to 13 girls that might play throughout the night. So I think numbers might factor in, fatigue might factor in. Such a hot surface to play on the turf, and about 88 degrees right now. So we'll see how fatigue is. One of the things we've always said, it's really hard to duplicate that game cardio. And so, Worcester's obviously got a game under their belt, but at the same time, it's hard to get in shape the second game of the season with limited numbers.
Let's go ahead and meet the starting lineups for both squads. We'll begin with the visiting Lady Generals here tonight. And I mentioned there's some youngsters out there. There's going to be a ton of sophomores breaking into the lineup on each side here tonight. Those Grace, Kasha, Friss, along with Maddie Dunlop. And then you see the freshmen getting into the lineup, Gabrielle Signorio. So, the youth movement is on for the Lady Generals. We'll see if they can be some difference makers tonight, Jesse.
Yeah, I think we talked about this time last year. We had the same conversation. How can a freshman contribute at this level? And I think our first girls game last year was Clear Fork and Madison, and we saw freshman Nevaeh Lewis come out with a hat trick in her debut. So certainly we know and we have seen that freshmen can contribute and not only be contributors but be key players at the girls varsity soccer level. So I think both teams will see a little bit of that tonight, certainly through the sophomore class for Clear Fork, and then Worcester's just kind of got a young group in general. So it'll be interesting to see how can these girls adapt to the game, to the speed and physicality of the game, but then can they contribute at a high rate?
You talked about the sophomores for the Lady Colts. We saw them with a ton of freshmen get experience last year. Now they are breaking into the starting lineup, and look at them, Jesse. About half of the lineup, actually more than half of the lineup, is going to be sophomores here tonight. But again, it's an experienced bunch. This isn't your standard 10th grade class.
Absolutely. A lot of these girls, they're playing year-round. They're playing a high level year-round. They're traveling throughout the country. They're in competitive games, tournaments. And then even the Clear Fork summer schedule, I know they've had some results. They beat Ashland in a scrimmage, beat Ontario in the summer league. So there's some impressive results in there. Now, I know those are scrimmages and a lot of things can factor in, but I think expectations are high for this Clear Fork team. I think everybody kind of expects Ontario to be the new top team in the area, but you're still looking at, Madison's the defending state champion, obviously lost a lot of players, but still has a lot of talent left there as well. So I think there's going to be a battle for who is the top girls team in the area, and I think Clear Fork is really going to make a case for that.
Certainly had that debate earlier today on the OH Report video podcast where head and shoulders above the rest in the area we think has to be the Ontario Lady Warriors, simply because they've got that senior class with about a dozen players that have been playing with each other since they were in grade school, whereas Clear Fork has that same thing going for them, except for those girls won't be seniors until 2023, Jesse. So we'll see what type of development they've made throughout the offseason. As you mentioned, they've had some nice results. I was there actually when they were able to take down Ontario in Summer League, and it was a big win for Clear Fork, though they kind of dusted it off like it wasn't that big a deal. It really was crushing for Ontario. So even though summer games, when they're county rivals, have some big impact on the mental game as 10 seconds in and we've got our first nice cross.
Yeah, I know Coach Atkinson at Ontario was telling me that was kind of the wake-up call that they got early on. It was probably well-timed. Obviously in the summer league, nothing you want to win, but the results don't really matter. And so that was kind of just a good, hey, reminder, you can't just show up and win games. You're really going to have to come out and compete. And when you have kind of the fame and notoriety this Ontario group does, everybody's going to be looking for that knockoff game. Clear Fork with a series of good passes to kind of get in the attack early, but plays it right to the keeper. You know, obviously we talked a lot about the sophomore class, but there's still some seniors out here who have been here for a while. You look at Kylie Davidson, Trinity Cook, girls whose names we've been talking about these girls for a couple years now as well. So we talk about the youth movement, but there's some senior leadership out here that it says, you know what, we're going to have a good squad this year, and we're going to be ready to compete against whoever we have to play.
Here's Wooster trying to get back on the attack here after Clear Fork dominated about the first couple of minutes of action. Here is Cook with a nice pass here to the outside, trying to work it through Wortman.
Clear Fork showing some good composure on the ball just to keep it, not give it away, and just trying to get the attack you want to get. And there's kind of an early cross right into the Wooster defender there. Clear Fork had been patient up into that last ball. Just, you know, they just want to have the ball. If you've got possession of the ball, it's really hard to get scored on. And so Clear Fork working to just try and keep possession and try and get a good attacking opportunity out of it.
Looks like the Lady General certainly sitting back, playing more of a defensive posture here to open up the contest. Just two girls playing up top for them and kind of packing it in, everything within inside the 25-yard line to ensure that the Lady Colts can't get off here early. At least trying to slow him down. That's the game plan for him, it seems.
Yeah, obviously a little bit different field than last year at this time when we had Clear Fork and Madison. And Madison, we knew they were going to be one of the top teams, and certainly they proved that as the season went on. Worcester, you know, a similar record to Clear Fork, just kind of coming out and just trying to feel each other out here and see, you know, how are they going to play, how are they going to attack, and where's that ball going to end up. Clear Fork right now really looking at just trying to keep the ball and just trying to create something, but just a couple costly turnovers for both teams. I think, you know, Worcester with a game under their belt obviously gets a little bit of those first game jitters and emotions out of the way. For Clear Fork, I think how fast can you kind of settle into your rhythm and just look to get good goal scoring opportunities through possession.
Lady Colts do get possession back here off the throw-in, trying to work it down the far sideline. That pass just a bit out of reach. Now they're going to play it back to the keeper. Nice patience being displayed in the midfield here by the Lady Colts.
Not a lot of stuff going forward yet. Just trying to keep the ball, really kind of being safe, playing it back, not taking a lot of people on one-on-one yet. A couple bad giveaways, though. Let Worcester kind of keep their attempt at possession as well.
Here's Franson, the junior, making a nice move. Good turn into traffic. Tripped up a bit right there. Davidson caught her from the back. No whistle, though, from the referee.
Yeah, it looked like she might have been clipped a little bit, but the referees have decided nothing there. Certainly, you see Christine Franson, kind of the player to really to watch out for Worcester in that attack. They kind of played that lone striker, and obviously very skilled. And she kind of got in there a little bit. Maybe a foul, maybe not, but either way, Clear Fork came away with the ball, and they've got some numbers going forward now.
Cook ran into a double team, had it taken away there by Maddie Dunlap. But Clear Fork back with possession, working it through the midfield. And that pass out wide, right through the 5-hole of Belcher. It's going to be out of play over to Wooster.
I think one of the things we'll keep talking about throughout the night is the depth of the Clear Fork team. You know, they've got some good players that are not even in the game yet. That's the kind of numbers they have this year. There's just a lot of talent available. And watching Worcester warm up, I don't believe that's the case for them. I think they have kind of limited numbers available, at least of the higher talent level. And so we'll see how that kind of factors in later in the game. Obviously, with a game temperature around 80 to 90 degrees, it might be a factor sooner than later.
By my count, 16 players suiting up tonight for Worcester. They do have a JV squad that's here, so if they really needed to, they could dive deep into the bench and get some girls suited in. As here comes Franson. Good opportunity here. Goes back post and just tipped away by Anders. Nice diving save.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been called a goal kick. I agree with you. I thought she tipped it away. That's a great run in by Franson. A bad giveaway by Clear Fork to kind of set that up. And Franson very opportunistic to get forward there. I thought Anders maybe just tipped it a little bit to put it wide of the post, but the referee said he was right there, said no tip. But Franson, again, another bad giveaway for Clear Fork, allowing Franson to get a touch in that attacking area.
Short throw in, poked away by the Clear Fork defense. Avery Wine out there defending.
Franson maybe looks to be getting some instructions from the coach, kind of playing with their back to the ball right now. Kind of interesting position and posture for where the ball is.
Lady Colts with just one player up top right now. That's Leah Argenio.
And here's the depth we talked about. Clear Fork's going to be subbing 3 players in right now. And one of the Kendall Windsor, who we know has got a speed threat going forward. So 3 subs right away. And we talked about this depth. This could become a factor later on. So hot out tonight, first game. You know, Coach Bechtel certainly has got the depth available to her. So we'll see if they kind of keep that and let girls catch their breath, get some water, and get back on the field.
Off the restart, trying to play it up top, find some feet of Kendall Windsor, as you mentioned, just checked in.
Freshman Melody Blueball making her varsity debut for Clear Fork, just checked in as well.
Nice display of passing right there. 3 straight connections for Wooster, and then a heavy touch off the foot of Dunlap leads to a turnover. Back to the Lady Colts.
Yeah, Franson is definitely the player you got to key in on for the Clear Fork defenders. They've kind of given her the ball a few times here in poor areas. But certainly she's got a nose to go forward and looking for that right opportunity to just kind of catch Clear Fork off guard and maybe on the counter a little bit.
Nice win of possession here for Clear Fork. We'll see if they can do anything with it. Wortman to the outside. Scott Davison here. Now Cook had it deflected. Nice challenge battle going on down in the corner. And it leads to Trinity Cook with a left-footed cross in and out of the hands of the keeper. And then Castora is able to squeeze it.
Yeah, it was a dangerous play there, just a little bit higher, and it's going to get right through. And Clear Fork had a player sitting on that back post, but the keeper does well to first just to touch it and then to grab it right after that. But here's Franson on the counter. 2 quick spins there in the middle. She's obviously got some skill with the ball.
Dunlap tried to squeeze it into the middle to the freshman, Signorino. Now Franson making a move. Being hounded, tried to give it up. Just one too many Colts defenders back there, made it tough on her.
And Franson certainly has got some individual foot skills there, not afraid to pull it in the middle of the field there. I think for Wooster, what you got to do is can you connect with her? It's all going through her, and then they're losing it the next ball out of there. But if they can maybe get her on a combination play or a counterattack, she has got some skill that she's going to be a threat to go forward.
Cos Torres plays a deep ball to the middle, finds Franson. And like you mentioned, pretty undeniable when she gets it, just the individual footwork that she has. Able to go right at defender. So you see Clear Fork pretty well aware of that. There's typically 2 girls in black jerseys waiting for her anytime she's looking to make a move.
Yeah, the problem with Worcester is facing right now is anytime Franson doesn't have the ball, they're struggling to find that space to complete a pass into. And that would be that case right there as the ball sails out of bounds. Franson is definitely the playmaker, but Worcester is failing to kind of connect with her through a lot of the combination play. Misplayed touches, balls out of bounds, balls played right to Clear Fork.
Lady Colts again with 3 players coming off the bench, fresh for them, as 3 girls will take a seat. Got a couple of tents set up down there and some fans too, Jesse, so they're keeping cool, trying to stay in the shade when they're not into the action.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen so far, I'm pretty sure Clear Fork's played either 15 or 16 players already, and I think Worcester's just played their 11. So I think that's That's easy so far. We're only a few minutes into the game. We'll see how that factors in when it gets to be about 30 minutes into the half.
Dunlap to Franzen, turns inside. Now sets it up, and a low ball comes in, but no problem there for Anders.
Clear Fork with a tough unforced turnover there to allow Wooster to keep the ball in the attacking area. See if they can find the feet of Franzen. They went long and she went short, but she's still hustling to try and get a touch on the ball. It's going to be a goal kick for Clear Fork. Franzen just kind of just the effort play to try and win the ball back. A little miscommunication on the throw, and they went for a long throw, and she wanted at her feet. Forced her to kind of turn around.
She was the leading scorer last year for the Lady Generals as just a sophomore. 11 goals for her, almost more than double than the next best on the team. Colts have been playing defense a lot here lately.
Yeah, struggling to kind of transition into the next third of the field. You know, the defensive third into the middle third, and just not a lot going into that final third. And so they're doing well to kind of keep possession of the ball, but just can't connect going into that final third of the field. And it's allowed Wooster to just kind of linger around and get some opportunities.
Ball deflected out off the outstretched foot of Davidson. So it'll be a Wooster throw in here on the near side. And not a whole lot of action on their bench, Jesse. You're right. They have not yet had a substitute come into the game. We're a dozen minutes in.
No, I was watching them in warm-ups, and they really had about 12 girls engaged in kind of the warm-up process, and one of them being the keeper. So it looks like a little bit of a quick foul there for Wooster. I think Clear Fork defender kind of clipped her just a little bit, but enough for the referee to say that's going to be a free kick. About 25 yards away.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton there, but did register a whistle from the referee. So it sets up Olivia Fox up against a three-girl wall and just put it right over the top of those ponytails. Cut that one sharp.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that's not quite how she wanted to play that, but ended up being somewhat dangerous. But the keeper was right there. Renee, one of the better keepers in the area, catches it cleanly and gets it out. But Clear Fork's giving it away again.
So the Generals kind of living right now up around the attacking third, but haven't really had a quality look. I just have them down for one good-looking shot attempt so far.
Yeah, just that one that we're kind of Clear Fork kind of just misplayed the ball and allowed Franzen to kind of get in and just missed it wide. Another good bit of skill there from Franzen. Does well, just hold the ball up, keep possession. Wooster's just struggling to find a pass if Franzen's not involved with it, though. Both teams, a lot of unforced turnovers, just kind of kicking the ball away, kicking out of bounds. It's kind of that first game. You're okay with seeing it for a little bit, but at some point you want to clean it up and keep possession of the ball because the turnovers will start to cost you after a while.
This is the second match so far this season for Wooster. Did open on the road at Brecksville, a 3-1 loss. First game action of 2021 tonight for the Lady Colts.
Yeah, Wooster tends to play a pretty heavy schedule. They'll have some pretty tough opponents throughout the year. There's Clear Fork with a few more subs. Girls checking back into the game. Oh my, I guess if you're Wooster, you're banking on being well conditioned, but it is so hard to prepare for games and opportunities, and then add in the heat as well. We'll see if they can continue to play at a good level throughout the night.
Just about 15 minutes gone by here in this opening half. No score as of yet. And a little bit of another careless mistake there for Clear Fork, Jesse, but seeing the hustle plays by Cook and company, trying to get something going here.
Yeah, both teams have just kind of played a similar style where they're working hard, obviously, and they're trying to keep possession, but there's just usually the final pass, when they're looking to go about a 20-yard pass, has led to is either being played away from the attacking player or right at the opponent or out of bounds. We've not seen a lot of those passes be connected yet. It's looking a little casual in the back there. Just not quite as clean as you like it to be yet. And now there's the Wooster takeaway now to get forward. No doubt they're looking for Franson, and there she is.
Tried to play it out wide, set up a run on the perimeter. Said the Lady Colts again there. Nice deflection. Now an opportunity to try to get in some type of a counterattack, but Wooster, you see, sitting pretty heavy. 3 girls back on that defensive line.
Yeah, and that's the ball that Clear Fork struggled with. You know, they're doing well to keep possession with just kind of the short passes. I think they just got to turn away from pressure and look to attack the other way. But they're just trying to play pretty direct right now. I don't think that's quite their style yet. Kendall Windsor does well to hold it up there. A little back pass. That's a much better play.
Yeah, dangerous ball. And now this one up over the top of the keeper and just a bit too tall. Man, was that close.
The keeper makes a good save, but kind of an unorthodox save. Kind of comes out and just lunges at the ball with her feet and just kind of bats it away, but right to Clear Fork, who just puts it a little bit high and wide. And there's Wooster making their first substitution of the game, and Clear Fork's at about their 10th.
Torres off the goal kick. Sails over the top of all of her teammates. So back in possession of the Lady Colts, but they turn it over, and here's Franzen with a 2-on-3. Nice little push pass to the outside, but it's taken away again. Nice defense played by Caudill.
Yeah, I like what Clear Fork did in their last attacking opportunity. I mean, they found the ball to target. She just held the ball. Windsor does a good job of not turn it over, not forcing anything forward. Plays it back, makes the Wooster defenders kind of shift out of position. All of a sudden, she was wide open, and keeper comes out, makes an aggressive, unorthodox but aggressive save, and prevents a Clear Fork goal-scoring opportunity.
Pressure off the pass there created by Dunlop, but then she gives it away. Wortman looking for the give and go, but just no room there for the pass. So the Colts try to switch fields, and it's going to work out with Windsor. Attack in the middle, and just nobody home on the other end of that pass.
Yeah, I think if she looks for that same play they tried a minute ago, I think they have a good opportunity again. If she just pulls it back and plays it back, you know, Wooster just kind of sitting back in a little bit. I think if she can just draw one of those defenders out, she's going to find a lot of space in front of her.
Big contact on the far side. That will draw a whistle.
Yeah, a bit of a late tackle there. Wooster had already played the ball away. Clear Fork comes in, catches her with his shoulder, but certainly no attempt on the ball.
Free kick on the way from the 42 for the Lady Generals. Colts with a juggling act, somehow able to keep it in bounds, but until that last touch, just too far for Belcher to catch up to.
I think for Clear Fork, they really need to figure out how to switch the field quickly. Wooster just put a lot of, ooh, that's a tough header right in the face. Looks like, oh, she's still up and going, though. Windsor with a good bit of skill into the box. Oh, that's a great run at the goal there. Just kind of mishits that final attempt.
Yeah, it looked like the pressure there just didn't allow her to kind of get the venom behind the ball that she really wanted to.
Yeah, I like the one-on-one move. She set herself up to get on the right foot and just couldn't get in.
Nice job giving up the body there by Avery Wine, going down to the turf to disrupt that. And looked like, well, she's going to be called offside, but great attack there for Windsor in the counter.
Yeah, didn't have a chance to see it through live play if she was actually onside or not, but the referee's right there in line with it. But Wooster taking their time on the free kick, catching their breath. You see a couple girls' hands on their head, trying to just get their breathing back to normal, settle down. It's hot. They've been working hard. There's a lot of soccer left to be played.
Yeah, you certainly got to imagine fatigue is going to play a big factor in the second half. So for Clear Fork, you got to play the long game, I think, here. And certainly it seems like Coach Bechtel's kind of taking that approach, playing a little bit more defensive-minded style soccer right now and try to hit them in the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're just trying to wear them out at this point. You know, keeping the ball, keeping possession is key, and that's a great ball down the line. So we've not seen a lot of you stretching that field from side to side.
It's the senior Cook, the lefty, and the header just off target there on the backside. Let's take one more look at that.
Yeah, it's a great ball by Cook in there, and Kendall Windsor. It did not start tonight, but certainly has been a factor when she was on. Good ball in, tough header. I mean, she's kind of running at it, but that's a deep header, and she puts it just outside of the goal. A lot of good stuff from Kendall Windsor there.
Cos Torres didn't get too much behind that one. Ball played out wide. General's just looking for Mara to try to track it down.
Yeah, Worcester's not generated a lot of offense with that ball into the final third. Unless it's just coming through Franson if she's able to dribble in and create something there. But that final pass in the attacking third is just not really connected for Wooster. It's either going right into the feet of Clear Fork or just out of bounds a couple times.
But if they can find their star in the middle, Franson, she has proven that she's got some special foot skills, can certainly make some things happen. And here she is with an opportunity.
That's not a great pass, though. Kind of plays it straight across the middle. I think everybody saw it coming, and Clear Fork read it but can't capitalize. Ball sails out of bounds. It's going to be a Wooster throw. That's the type of play that you're going to learn from that, whether you watch film or you listen from your coach. Great read defensively. Comes up, great takeaway, and then just cannot keep the touch in bounds and ends up giving it right back to Wooster.
Going to get a whistle there on the battle for possession. Going to go against the Lady Colts, so free kick coming from midfield here for Wooster.
Wooster bringing their second sub in just before that as well.
And you can see, Jesse, quite a few of these girls, hands on their hips, like you said. You imagine there's going to be a few that are going the full 80 minutes tonight.
Yeah, certainly looks to be the case. Looks like they're playing with about one sub, but right now they've got a couple other girls on the bench, but not quite, looks like ready to be in this game yet. So we'll see how fatigue and cardio matches up. Ooh, just misconnecting there on that final third pass again. Be plays like this, if you're Worcester, if you can get some experience, this is when you're going to have to catch your breath. You know, the ball's kind of got to bounce for a throw-in. It's going to be your throw-in. There's no real hurry. You're not looking for a quick counterattack at this point. So can you catch your breath? Can you get in a good position and kind of relax for just a moment until the game resumes?
Did milk a good 15 seconds off the clock there, as Franson has it poked away, working hard to get it back for her team.
Senior Leah Argenio does well to come back and win the ball and get Clear Fork back in the attacking area a little bit.
Wortman making a charge on the far side. Takes a bump. A few Colts fans felt as though a whistle should have been warranted there, Jesse.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that call. She definitely ran into the Worcester player and then she went down. I don't know. Certainly she's working hard, though. I think that might be the football team at the end of the field down there really seeing a little bit of contact.
Yeah, that is great to see the football team out here supporting and just having student sections back again this year. Jesse, what a difference it makes for the environment of the atmosphere at the stadium, man. Like, it was great having football packed stands here this last weekend, and, you know, great to see kids coming out here supporting their fellow classmates.
Absolutely. I think that's such a great part to high school sports that you kind of take for granted at some point, but now that we're kind of back in settings that allow that, it's fun. Sometimes it's obnoxious, but it's fun to have your teammates and classmates out here rooting for you. It looks like the boys soccer team and the football team are out here. Clear Fork does a great job just supporting all their sports with the other sports teams. I think there's a volleyball game tonight as well. So a lot of just different sporting things going on here, and Clear Fork always brings a lot of different support for all their athletics.
And what makes it easy to come out and support is typically all their teams are pretty good, man. They're worth coming out and cheering for. So that's certainly the secret sauce, Jesse, to getting people in the stands.
It is a lot more fun when your teams are competitive. Absolutely is. That's a fair point.
So Blue Ba checking back in. Jada Lamp going to take a seat for a moment. And just such a different contrast in the roster this year for the Lady Colts when Coach Bechtel and her staff were basically forced to play about 5, 6, 7 freshmen a night, where this go around just the one on the roster, Jesse, and it's blue ball.
Yeah, there's certainly pros and cons to playing a lot of freshmen. You obviously, when you're able to do that, either you have poor numbers or you have great freshmen. And so I think last year we saw Clear Fork had some freshmen who could compete at a high level. Oh, Renee was a little slow getting that off her foot, but went right to Wooster, but Wooster misplayed it. Played it back to Clear Fork. This has kind of been the theme of the game so far, is just kind of not being able to keep possession through transition and just kind of watching the ball go back and forth.
Franzen had her pocket picked. That's a nice touch to get it into the midfield, and Windsor. What a weapon she is off the bench. And a hard tackle whistle is going to go against the Lady Colts.
Franzen a little slow to get up there. Definitely went through the back of her legs to try and win the ball there. I don't think it was of poor intent. I just think it was poor execution. Franzen certainly not back to her feet yet, though.
No question, a hard tackle there. And she has not moved.
They definitely went through the back of the legs to make the tackle. But then I'm wondering if maybe there was some contact on the head as she fell.
Go ahead and take one more look here at the replay.
Posture has not really changed since she's kind of went to the ground, just kind of fell down in a heap there. The contact was definitely on the back of her legs, but I'm wondering if maybe she couldn't brace herself as well if she would have liked when she fell.
While the training staff is tending to Franzen, we'll go ahead and step away, take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Opening night of girls high school soccer, live and free here on the OH Report.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Back here at the Lady Colt Corral, Franzen has been helped over to the sideline. It appears that she is going to be okay. And noted, Jesse, that perhaps maybe a bit of whiplash, head might have hit the turf there. It just felt like the way the trainer was talking to her and the way that she hit the ground instantaneously and didn't move, that potentially a little bit of a head problem.
Yeah, I think you're right. Certainly we want her to be healthy and able to return to play at some point. you know, as they're checking for possibly a concussion, you've got to kind of get that doctor's clearance now. So it looks like they're kind of checking around, asking her some questions, and we saw kind of doing a bit of a vision check out there as well. So we obviously hope to see her return to the game, but not at the expense of her health. So we'll see what the result is over there. The other problem we had with Wooster is they were already thin on who they were playing. It looks like they're only running one sub in the game, and now with one of your top players going to be out for a little bit, depth is going to be an even bigger concern. A little bit of skill there by Annika Labaki.
And Clear Fork pressing forward right now. They had numbers up. See if they can maintain the pressure. Stay in the attack. It looks like Worcester's going to be able to clear, get on the counter of their own. That last pass just a bit out of the reach. But Davison allows it to go over the touchline.
Franson still being checked out on the sideline. Run through a couple of different tests there just to make sure everything's working well and she's okay. Hope to see her back soon.
And boy, are they going to need her. As we mentioned in the pregame tonight, neither of these teams really light it up offensively. At least last season they didn't. Clear Fork just about 1.4 goals per contest. Wooster just about a half goal better per game, and Franson was their top producer. Fox, number 2 back on the roster this year, just 6 goals for her, so they need their top playmakers to be able to be on the field, and here is Franson coming back on. Great sight.
Yeah, absolutely. You're excited to see her back from a lot of different reasons. Obviously, from a health and safety standpoint, you're excited that she's okay to return to play, and she's brought a little bit of flair to the game as well, so it's been fun to watch. What Wooster wants to do is really trying to get her a ball in advantageous areas, and they just have not done that a lot so far, so we'll see if they can clean that up.
The deflection ends up back into the hands of Renee Anders.
I think Clear Fork has played just about everybody on their roster already into the first half. I think they've played just about all 18 girls. It's just kind of a big ball into the box. Renee calls her off, and she's going to get it right in her hands. It's not been kind of that smooth Clear Fork soccer quite yet. I think there's still there are definitely pros and cons to running 18 players through your half. The pro is everybody's going to be kind of fit and ready to go. The con is there's a little bit of just chemistry and trying to figure out who's where and who's doing what and the strengths and weaknesses of each player. But undoubtedly one of the strengths has been Kendall Windsor. When she gets the ball going forward, good things have happened. And Clear Fork's going to come away with it. Plays an early cross, but right at the feet of Wooster.
So it's going to set up a corner kick here for the Lady Colts on the way as we take one more look at that cross.
She didn't really pick her head up. She just kind of was hoping that it would just kind of find its way through, and Wooster was in the right place to clear that out. Trinity Cook with the corner.
Well placed, center cut, headed away by the Lady Generals, and they will clear to Franson.
Franson with just a big touch to herself. That's the one thing you got to be careful of. You send everybody up on the corner, is being aware of where Franson is in the return.
Signorino runs into some trouble. Had it taken away by Schaefer. And volleyed out of bounds here by the freshman blue ball. So we're approaching the 9-minute mark here in this opening half. Not a ton of great looks on either side on net. You can tell that this is an early season game and the first game of the season for the Lady Colts, and you had talked about the 18 girls all getting onto the field, Jesse. Perhaps, of course, at this time of year, by design, trying to figure out where is that chemistry going to come from, who flows best together.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of learning going on for both teams, really. For Clear Fork, it's trying to figure out a little bit of the chemistry and lineups and formations, and just trying to you play yourself out of some of your own ruts sometimes. And I think just trying to figure out who's going to kind of rise above, who's going to create a positive impact when they're on the field, and try and make notes of that. Obviously, you want to compete and win the game, but it's early. If at a school like Clear Fork, you're competing for for conference titles, for district titles, and so you're going to take a few early learning lessons. Hopefully you can do it with a win as a result, but that's not always the case.
Lady Colts keep shaking up that lineup. Wortman checking back in along with Lamp. Labaki checks out, as does Bluebaugh. Colts trying to work it from that far side through the middle. Wooster there to disrupt it. Dunlap got in the way. Cook just trying to play it to space.
You see, there's Clear Fork players who know the mistake they're making. You can just watch their body reaction as they play the pass and realize that wasn't the right pass, the right space. I think they're certainly learning quite a bit. Franson taking another hard foul there. I think both refs have called a foul. We'll see where they end up spotting this.
More looked like some incidental contact on that one. A foul nevertheless.
A lot of ball girls here tonight, but not a lot of balls in the field right now. And now we have too many. That's usually how that works. Oh, and we almost lost them both there again. So it looks like we're going to referee called the first foul back here. Kind of a late contact as the header was cleared away. So that was the first one. There was one after that, but we'll go with the first whistle, and that's where they're going to spot the ball. It's going to be a Wooster free kick right around midfield. Well,
that's really unfortunate that they wouldn't get it at the 27-yard line where the last foul happened. But that's just the rule, huh?
I guess. I mean, he did blow the whistle first. I guess that's how they interpreted it there. And certainly the advantage could have been played and then overruled, I guess.
It's all very complex here, but didn't work out quite as beneficially as Wooster probably would have liked. That's a great-looking ball on the fly. Windsor turns to the middle. Windsor's got a one-on-one with the keeper. She plays it back post, and she's got a goal for the Lady Colts, the first of the year.
That's a terrific ball, terrific skill, and a great finish from Kendall Windsor. Just great run in, great touch around the defender, and just picks her head up, beats the keeper that was coming out, finds the net, and it's 1-0 Clear Fork.
Here it is one more time, one-on-one with the keep, and she knew exactly what to do with it.
The keeper's timing was right. The angle looks like she might have been just a little off out of the middle there to give Kendall just a little bit easier approach, but it's a good finish, a good builder from Clear Fork. Kendall Windsor has definitely been the offensive spark plug that Clear Fork has been looking for. Lots of good opportunities and now a goal because of it. Couldn't tell who played that pass into Windsor, but that was a great ball as well. Just the right pace on the ball, right location, timing, everything was good. It's a good-looking goal for the Colts.
She wasn't a real active goal scorer last year, not even in the top 10 on the team in terms of scoring.
I think what she's done well, I think last year she was just a fast threat and was able to just be fast. This year she has improved her game. That's the second or third time I've seen her take somebody on one-on-one and come away with the ball and a good goal-scoring opportunity. So we talked about you can't be young, a couple of years in a row.
Sure.
You expect that development. You expect kind of players to go to that next level, especially at a program like Clear Fork. And I think Kendall Windsor is the example of that.
See if they're able to find Kendall again here as Lady Colts starting to build some momentum. Just over the head of Cook. And then Belcher came in. Might have been a handball on her.
He's called something. He's signaling certainly Wooster ball. I'm not sure. Handball's about the only thing I could see in that setting there. But Kendall Windsor just launched that ball from right into the middle of the six there. It's a great throw in as well.
That was about as good as you can throw it in. Had a couple of options on the back end. Jesse just no one was able to get a foot on it.
Clear Fork by surprise. It definitely bounced once and kind of just got over everybody. You'd think if you have a weapon like that, your team would be a little more prepared to kind of hit it out of the air, at least the second time. But just kind of looked to surprise everybody in that setting.
So the Lady Generals now in a one-goal hole. Looking for some type of a response here as we're down to 4 minutes and change to go in this opening half.
Wooster really just struggling to keep possession of the ball right now. Sometimes fatigue just looks like that, where there's not a lot of off-the-ball movement. You just find yourself just kind of kicking the ball into space or even the other team at times.
How about that, all developed by Trinity Cook?
The second or third corner kick of the night for Clear Fork. They've got a couple girls who know how to get up and win some headers here. We'll see if they can get a ball in a dangerous area. Looks like Kendall Windsor's going to line up right in front of the keeper, just try and block some vision there.
Sets it up. Lady Colts again with bodies all over. Couldn't find a header, but it looks like they'll have another opportunity out of here off the deflection.
Yeah, there's a little momentum with Clear Fork right now. They got the goal. They kind of set things open. Worcester's fatigued, trying to finish out the half. Let's see if Clear Fork can get another one just before the halftime, really kind of change the pace of the game.
Big set piece on the way here, going to be triggered by Kylie Davidson. And the senior sends it back post. Out kind of wide, the double header, and that one's good too. Lady Colts strike again.
That's Kendall Windsor again, but that was really set up by that first header. If that's a design play, that's really well done there. I mean, just to get just a head towards the goal, and then Kendall Windsor knowing that just her flick on is going to be a dangerous spot because of where she's located at. Really good stuff from Clear Fork right now.
Here it is, out of the air. Header onto another header. Windsor with the glory at the end, her second goal.
Wooster was in the right position there. I don't know if she might have been already in the net. She's kind of walking back, trying to prevent the goal from going in, and missed the ball anyways. Windsor just in a great area there. The last one, her first goal was because of skill and speed. That one was just the right place at the right time, and then the right idea just to flick it on.
Looks like the Generals just content to put it out of bounds.
These past couple minutes of the game have certainly favored Clear Fork, and we talked about this early on, that fatigue kind of sets in. Here's a big throw from Windsor. Again, great into the box. Wooster does well to get the first touch and get a good, almost cleared out of it, and there's the touch they needed. And there's some space for Franson.
This is what Wooster needs on the counterattack. Number 19 with the ball and a little bit of space. Perhaps one of her teammates can pick her up here, try to create a spark.
Yeah, there's not a lot of composure on the ball outside of Franson. Franson certainly is composed. She's, skilled. The rest of Worcester has struggled to kind of complete that pass, especially the final third. It's kind of an early long shot. Franson has done well to kind of create some offense, but there's not been a lot of other offense outside of that for Worcester. It's a bad giveaway by Cook there. Ends up right at the feet of Franson, who's going to go.
Yeah, she's got to uncork one here, so we're down to a minute to go. Sets it up with the right foot. Just a bit too tall.
You don't like to have a bad giveaway, and you certainly don't want a bad giveaway to the best player on the other team who's kind of got that nose for the goal. I mean, she knew right where she wanted to go. She got to the spot she wanted to go to and got a good shot off. Probably not the best shot, but certainly of quality. Another bad giveaway by the Colts. Now Clear Fork getting forward a little bit, not a lot of numbers. See if she can hold it up and let her teammate. She plays the early ball into Windsor. Keeper reads it right and comes out and grabs it.
Like the thought there by Cook, though. Short on time, just about 30 seconds off that cross. And Windsor has had the hot foot, hot head. She's just been the offensive spark plug here so far for the Lady Colts. And that is going to take us to the end of the first half. The Clear Fork Lady Colts on top. 2-0 right now over the Wooster Generals. We'll be back with some stats and analysis for you guys. Get you all set up for half number 2. It is live and free only on the OH Report Girls High School Soccer on a Monday night. Stay tuned.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
I think really what you have to be careful of is if you're Clear Fork is the bad giveaways. They kind of put Franson in a few times with just their own bad giveaways, set her up to get really 2 or 3 good opportunities going to goal there. So you really just got to be careful. You obviously don't want to give the ball away, but if you do, you really don't want to give it away to their star player.
Clear Fork well aware of that. They've tried to limit her touches when they can when she gets into the attacking third. But, of course, when you're talking about a player as special as one Miss Franzen, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to limit her throughout the entire night. However, what Clear Fork has going for them certainly is the depth factor, Jesse. And this is what we talked about in the opening minutes when it was super hot and Clear Fork kept subbing in girls, you know, 3 after 3 after 3, keeping bodies fresh out there. Wooster with only a couple of subs throughout that entire first half. That doesn't mean that these girls can't go the full 80 minutes and aren't in superior athletic shape and ready for action. But you would think that the second half is going to favor Clear Fork getting a few more opportunities off of just hustle plays, overall desire, and just being a little bit more fresh.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think the first 10 minutes will really speak to that. You know, Worcester's going to be a little more refreshed coming out of halftime. They're able to catch their breath a little bit, kind of refocus, realign what they're trying to do. So I think you're going to see a little bit of rejuvenation from Worcester in the first couple of minutes. And if they can get a few opportunities on goal or capitalize on some of the Clear Fork giveaways, they're going to feel they can hang in this game. So if you're Clear Fork, I think you really got to look to kind of strike again, strike quickly, and kind of separate this game. I think if you score again in the first couple of minutes, it just becomes a little bit of a deflation for Worcester, and then that mountain is probably too big to battle back from with the numbers that they have available tonight.
I believe we're going to get the exact same starting lineups here in half number 2 as we got to open up the contest, which will give Windsor an opportunity to continue to stay fresh over on that sideline and come in and provide the spark. Well, actually, as I say that, Jesse, look who's into the game here.
I think that's a great move. I think every time she touched the ball, good things were happening. So it's probably important for her to get the minutes that are available right now. Certainly you love having that kind of quality come off the bench, but at the same time, you're in a group right now where you're fighting for minutes. And so if you're making a positive impact every time you touch the ball, then you probably deserve to be in that starting group right now.
So the second half now underway.
I think Clear Fork maybe tried to run a little bit of a design kickoff play. Not quite executed quite to that level yet. Looks like Clear Fork's kind of moved some personnel around a little bit. I see Trinity Cook's a little higher up the field now. Good idea there by Kylie Belcher to try and slot in to the corner, but played it right at the feet of the Worcester defender. Clear Fork's going to have a throw in right around midfield. Flicked on there, and Cook kind of panics and just kicks it away. I think that those are the plays that you're going to kind of learn from Melody Blue Ball. The freshman settles the ball, plays it nicely into Kendall Windsor, who's going to get in the attacking area. Let's see what happens. It's going to run out of bounds.
Yeah, tried to turn the corner, just ran out of real estate there.
And Melody Blue Ball with just good composure, just to bring the ball to her feet and then to find that pass forward. That's been a pass Clear Fork struggled to make a little bit. And Blue Ball, just good composure to keep possession and attack through that pass. There's Franson, who wins the ball in the middle of the field. Cuts it right back into the Clear Fork defender. But Franson wins it right back. It's going to be a Worcester throw-in.
Lady Generals looking to get something going here. Bodies moving forward. Still keeping 4 on that back line, though, Jesse, and in the 2-goal differential as they are right now, you imagine they got to try to get a little bit more offensive-minded when they have possession.
Yeah, their offense has really run through Franson. I mean, when she gets the ball, she's definitely the playmaker. She's got the skill at her feet. As the games progress, Gabriella Signorino is certainly, her touches have been a little more confident, and her ability to go to goals picking up a little bit as well. See Franson getting in the end line there and see if she can make a play. Good ball in, but could not find Gabriella.
This one's just going to be launched over the back end line. A little bit too tall for the goal.
That's where you want Franson to get the ball if you're Worcester, though. I mean, she was able to get into the corner of the 6 and just lays it back, but Clear Fork defended that well after the breakdown.
Nice little one-on-one win there for Signorino, the freshman.
Yeah, the more this game has progressed, she certainly has picked up her ability to be comfortable with the ball at her feet and to make plays as well. And really think that's going to be the key for Wooster. It can't all go through France, and they're going to need a second player who can bring the ball down and hold possession and help put in the attack. It's a great ball by Blue Ball again to find Windsor. Windsor's one-on-one at the top of the 18. Big touch in, and Worcester's going to clear that away.
Just a little too big with that touch.
Yeah.
Had that been about a foot closer to her, probably had the opportunity at least to unload one.
You're right. I mean, she's got to get the touch away from the defender to beat her, but just took too much on it to go at that second defender. Must have been deflected out there. I thought that was going to be a Clear Fork throw-in, but it looks like it's going to be Worcester. And
General's not able to clear it there. They wanted to shoot the gap and try to get their player Signorino out in space.
there's Franson with a good turn, good ball in. It's a heavy touch from Worcester there. I don't think she's able to turn the corner around her. Avery Wind as well just to put the ball out of play. It's going to be a Worcester throw-in. Worcester's not had the ball in the attacking area a ton unless it's been on the counterattack, so we'll see if maybe they've got a long throw or anything they can do to kind of keep possession or generate some offense here.
Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Avery Wind heads it out. It's going to be a Worcester corner kick, though. Worcester's first corner of the night. Certainly, as we watch the game, Clear Fork has had the advantage with the balls in the air, but it's a little different when you're defending a corner. Got to have the right jump on the ball. You'd think they've got to be going for Franson here in the middle.
It's going to be played right into the middle. Anders misplays it. It's up for grabs. And able to dive on top of it just in the nick of time.
I thought there could have been a shout for a handball there on Clear Fork. She definitely had her hands up trying to head it away, and I thought it rolled down her arm a little bit, but the referees didn't see it, and now we're going the other way, and Windsor, good pressure just to try and win the ball back. Still working on it, still working.
Yeah, she's got that engine roaring right now, just constantly keeping up the pace.
It's going to be, referee saw a foul in the middle of the field. It was a little bit of a late challenge. Certainly unintentional, but definitely some contact there. The referee brought it back. It's going to be a Worcester free kick coming out.
But if you're Clear Fork, picking up right where you left off, you found that lightning in a bottle. You saw who your player was that was bringing the energy, and pretty obviously, number 6, she's the one that's kind of stirring the drink around here right now, and they're looking for her.
Absolutely. When she gets the ball at her feet and then she's facing towards the goal, I mean, she's got speed, and now she's got the skill to match as well. So certainly a threat to go in the attacking area. What she did well in the first half, they didn't get a goal because of it, but she was able to hold the ball up and play it back, and that drew out one of those Worcester defenders and create some space as well. So a lot of different styles of offense from Kendall Windsor, but certainly getting the job done right now.
Clear Fork continuing to be aggressive, and look at Cook moving into space, trying to set it up for Windsor in the middle. And nice thought there. Tried to squeeze it to the backside of the freshman, but deflected.
Just outrunning the Worcester defenders right now. Gets the ball in the corner. Good ball in. Oh! Just fell away from Trinity Cook. Right place, and I thought it was going to be the right time, but just past her outstretched leg. It's going to be a goal kick for Worcester. Just see the speed of Windsor being able to separate on the outside there. It was just, all it was speed. There was no skill there. It was just a big touch, and watch how fast she is. Plays a great ball into the box and just sails out of bounds for a Worcester goal kick.
General's going to play a deep ball, hoping Franzen or somebody can try to find it.
Yeah, that is just not their style, I don't think. I don't think they've connected on a pass over 20 yards, really. I think their best bet is trying to find Franson or Signorino's feet and playing through them.
Look at Clear Fork just running by the defense right now as they set it up for Windsor. Maybe a little too unselfish, but then it ends up at the feet of Cook. She's got another Clear Fork Lady Colt goal.
Yeah, there's a lot of good soccer right there. The pace that Annika Labaki was running through the middle with the ball, forcing the Worcester defenders to kind of collapse on her. Heads up play, lays it wide to Windsor, who cuts it back and finds Cook on the outside. Really smooth looking goal right there for the Colts.
Here's another look I thought that perhaps the first pass from Windsor might not get back to her, but it does. And then she made the right read. Great pass. Lady Colts on top, 3-0.
Yeah, just a great run of play there for the Colts. You've kind of scored in a variety of ways now. They did the through ball that put Windsor in. I think a corner kick where Windsor flicked it in, and then just a great run of play, just working the ball through the middle. And a little fortunate to get the ball back after a bad touch, but ends up right at Windsor's feet and makes the right play to find Cook, and Cook drills it in the corner.
Lady Colts now with 10 shots on the match. Wooster with just 5.
There's Cook getting the ball in some space there. Cuts it right back at the defender's feet, but keeps it. Let's see if they can find blue ball running wide there. I think blue ball's got to get it just a little bit wider to find that space there. Just playing right on the back of Windsor.
Labaki chasing down. Now it's just a matter of who wants to hang on to possession for more than a pass or two.
It's going to be a tough ball here for Worcester. She kind of missed the first touch and caught running away from it. Signorino. I just don't think that's their style, but Franson's got some speed there.
Boy, it sure looked like she was going to catch up in a hurry.
I think Avery Wine does well to kind of keep it going from the attacking area there for the Worcester Generals. But the ball girl I thought was going to take the throw in there, but it's a big throw in, but nobody made the run. That's a couple times that Worcester's had a throw in. They've thrown it long when the girl was checking too. Just miscommunications. That'll be frustrating as a coach when you're watching and you're looking at the types and time when you're giving the ball away. That's the tough one when you go in the attacking area and you literally throw it to the other team.
You see on the flip side, Clear Fork just brimming with confidence right now. Just about everybody getting in on the attack. Here's another shot, and how about a hat trick? Windsor with her third of the night.
That's another great build-up by Labaki. She drew 4 defenders in the middle of the field there. Windsor was patient, stayed outside. Not a great touch, but just enough to get the goal there. And you're right, 3 goals and an assist. What a night for Kendall Windsor.
And here is the instant replay. Just nobody in between her and the net, Jesse.
Everybody collapsed on Labaki. She was going with pace at the goal, so all 4 of those Worcester defenders collapsed right in the middle. Labaki heads up play, lays it off, and gets the great assist to Windsor. Labaki kind of coming alive in this second half as well. Certainly we're going to be talking about Kendall Windsor with the hat trick and the assist, but that's an assist and a kind of an assist to assist on the goal before that for Labaki.
So a coming out party here tonight for Kendall Windsor, who actually scratched for her number. She was going to wear 22. Jesse decided that she wanted to switch to the number 6. Not sure why. Didn't get a story on that, but that came in last second. And boy, for just writing that down, you know, kind of right before game time, number 6 has certainly left her mark on this one.
Absolutely. Maybe that was the confusion for Worcester. They didn't have it in the scouting report. They were looking for number 22, and it was number 6 all along.
Could be. 22, of course, you know, a famous number here at the Lady Colt Corral. They've had some greats wear that one, so maybe Windsor wasn't quite up for wearing that here tonight. She's like, don't put that.
She belonged, yeah.
Didn't want that evil on her, but boy, has she performed well tonight. Easily right now in the driver's seat for our player of the game.
Absolutely. I have Annika Labaki with a great second half right now, and Cook as well. Franson just having a little fun with the ball at her feet. Puts it right at Anders, but there's not a lot of off-the-ball movement for Franson, so it's really what can she do with the ball. And she's got some skill, but sometimes it's tough to take on a whole back line by yourself.
Go ahead, Jesse.
The game has really opened up for Clear Fork now. They're finding some space in the middle, kind of being advantageous on the Worcester giveaways. Just quite the second half. Kind of the dream start to the second half. We talked earlier about you got to come out and kind of take the wind out of the sails again for Worcester and can wrap this game up, and that's exactly what they've done.
And you can just tell here in the early portion of half number 2 that Clear Fork just so much more fresh on that previous substitution there. Clear Fork, 6 fresh bodies coming in, basically just like a hockey routine spelling out everybody on the field. Wooster able to only counter with 1 substitute. So right now, big factor as we head to the last 28 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of a demoralizing thing when you see the Clear Fork line change coming at you, and you know you're not quite subbing the same way. Clear Fork's just got all the momentum right now. They're playing well. They're scoring goals. They're fresh. And here Kendall Windsor's going to get subbed off now after a great second half so far. Trinity Cook checking back in. High fives all around for Kendall with the hat trick and the assist so far tonight. And a few hugs as well.
Well earned. Well earned. What a match for her up to this point, and still a long way to go.
It's a good ball by Cook, but played well by Grace to come out and make the early ball. Ooh, that's a tough header there. The referee's called a foul. There's no foul. That ball took her down. It was not contact, but Kylie Davidson does well to jump up and get the header. That's just the impact of the ball that took her down, but the referee has granted a free kick anyways.
See what the Lady Colts do with this set piece from about the 41-yard line. Great ball in.
Favorable bounce for Cook, but still bouncing around. Davidson's got it now, still bouncing around. Yeah, Davidson got it. It's a little bit of a late foul there by Davidson, just trying to win the ball back, but certainly got her in the back as well, trying to do so.
Colts had some opportunities there, though. As the Generals just fighting to try to get some momentum going to the offensive end. Clear Fork has really stayed after him here in this second half. And it continues. You got to give these midfielders a ton of props for just coming up and pressuring before Wooster breaks onto their side of the field.
See some more speed there from Clear Fork. It's not limited just Windsor. They've got, we talked about that last year. They were young, but they were fast and talented. So now, some confusion. It's whether going to be a goal kick or a corner. I thought it was a goal kick all the way, and then they grabbed it for a corner, and the referees brought it back for a goal kick again. So
just a little trick, a little offensive player tries to pull every now and again. Maybe if I just take the ball and bring it out for the quarter, no one will notice, right, Jesse?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a little bit of gamesmanship. You never know. Perhaps the referee didn't. If he didn't know, he's just going to watch. I'm counting the seniors on the Clear Fork team. It's weird to call a youthful Clear Fork team with over 10 seniors, I think. But obviously they have a very strong and contributing sophomore class who's a part of this group as well. But mixed with that is a great senior group as well. So that's why I think you can only really say you're young once, and then after that you kind of got to either you're going to be good or you're not going to be good. And Clear Fork is definitely showing they're in it to play.
Roster certainly covers the entire matrix with those seniors mixed with the sophomores and just a couple of juniors on the roster, Jesse. So next year, it's definitely going to be the keys to the vehicle brought over to that up-and-coming what would be juniors next year.
Absolutely. With, a lone freshman in the group who's but definitely starting and contributing. Getting some more girls checking. There's that line change for Clear Fork.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7 girls checking back in. At this point in the game is pretty much wrapped up in terms of the results. You wonder how do you try and track minutes now when you've already worked 18 girls in, but still got some starters in there. Kendall Windsor checked back in. Annika Labaki's in.
And that was Wortman. Nearly broke loose there for a 1v1 with the keep. Instead, Wooster does a good job to just chase the ball out of there, but Clear Fork kind of kept up this relentless pressure all second half. Keep him with it.
Yeah, long throw by Windsor, and somehow falls back to Windsor.
She's just got the motor and drive, man. She is getting after it, playing with more hustle than anybody else on the field.
Absolutely. Just earns a corner there just by getting back in the play and getting a touch on the ball, and Wooster pokes it away and gives Clear Fork another corner kick. We've seen Clear Fork be dangerous in these settings here. They've obviously got some girls who can finish. We saw perhaps a design play earlier where it's played away from the goal and then headed towards a goal for the second header. We'll see if that's a play they run again or how they execute it now.
Another good ball in. Windsor got a hit on it. Defended well. Back in the corner.
Ooh. It's like Chloe Frichtel was in the – she held that post. That is how you do that. I mean, she's tied on the post. She's on the line. She clears away an obvious goal-scoring opportunity for the Colts. Really well defended there. After perhaps we saw a corner that was maybe not quite as defended as well. She definitely makes up for it there.
Windsor nearly inches away from having her 4th goal of the night.
A bit of a tough ball out there by Perry.
Now, tough pass there. Just 3 Lady Colts on that back line just waiting for number 19 to break into their area. And Franzen has only had about 1 real opportunity here in the second half. As you see Cook bursting through with the speed. Colts with all the energy here right now.
Absolutely kind of a lofted ball. It's going to go out of play there. I think a little bit of a rhythm break there was Blue Ball and Cook both kind of going, both kind of stopping and then trying to figure out that run. And that's kind of that's when you play 18 players, you have those moments sometimes when maybe you're not been in that situation before with that player to know kind of the expectations and the ideas for each one. So you just call them kind of look at each other, then hold up, and then hesitate, and then try and reset out of it. Good turn by Labaki in the middle.
Got space over on the far side, looking to reverse fields. Instead, the intended pass for Windsor disrupted by the Lady Generals, who got bodies up now.
Yeah, they have just struggled to connect that pass into the final third. If it's not coming through the feet of Franzen, it's not really connecting with anyone. A little slow to get off her foot there, and Clear Fork comes away with a turnover.
And that's what they've been doing routinely here in the second half. Pressure in the midfield, leading to opportunities. As Windsor attacking a triple team. Try to set it up for Labaki.
Still bouncing around right in front of the goal.
Looked like Windsor was trying to theft it away, and they just set it up for one of her teammates. Almost was able to make that happen, too.
I think we're starting to see a little bit of that fatigue for Wooster now. Obviously, they got a little momentum with the ball right now, but defensively,
great ball.
Not defending with the same energy they have been. But there's Franzen, 20 yards out, right at Anders.
Renee with her 6th save, 7th shot on the night for the Lady Generals.
Expected a little bit more from Franzen there, who's had a couple of good looks, but just can't get one to fall. And that one goes right at the hands of Anders.
Coming up on the midway point here of this second half. If you're just joining us, it's been all Lady Colts here in half number 2. They had the run of play at the break as well, led 2-0 at the half. Have added on 2 more scores here in the second, with Cook and Windsor getting her 3rd.
A couple bad giveaways there from Clear Fork. They were working hard to try and get possession back, but just kept giving the ball back then after that. But there's Windsor. Great ball into Cook, one-on-one. Oh, just held the ball up a little bit, and Wooster does well to come back and help defensively. It's a good pass in from Windsor. I think I'd like to see Cook, unless she's predominantly left-footed. I know she scored with the left earlier. Probably take that out to the right and draw that defender out. She went right at the second defender.
Trinity, I'm pretty confident, is a left-footed player, so was just trying to get it to that strong foot so she could put a little bazooka behind it, Jesse, and sometimes you got to play it to the weak foot, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. You just find that space a little bit, but I know you like to have that ball on the dominant foot. That's the foot you want to shoot and score with, but she kind of went right at that second defender, and she was able to collapse and help out. That ball bounced right at the feet of Kendall Windsor out as a deflection.
Fortune tends to favor those that are working the hardest, Jesse, and right now it's number 6, and pretty much just everybody in the black jerseys trying to make some runs.
Here's Franzen going to get in the box here. No help, really. Cuts back, and there's Signorino. Let's see if she plays her. Oh.
Christine just bullied out of the way. Not going to draw a whistle either from Perry.
It's kind of a weird, I don't think it was a foul, but she did fall into her off the ball. It's a tough call for a PK. but there's definitely contact.
It's almost like a good box out because it was so far away from the actual ball.
Yes, kind of. You're right. Uh-oh. Kylie Davidson with a good catch in the middle of the field.
Not allowed to do that, so it's going to set Wooster up here with an opportunity set piece. We'll see how many bodies they send forward. It appears still sticking with that 3-4 lady back wall. As Olivia Fox.
And the numbers game certainly favors Clear Fork there. They've got all 10 back, just Windsor's up top. And then they come away with the ball for the most part.
Just weren't a whole lot of options there for Fox.
Wooster is still fighting, though. We've talked about the numbers and the depth, and that's a good ball into Franson again. But they are still getting forward. What a goal.
Wow.
It's a tough contact. Wooster, a little bit of life there. This past couple of minutes, we've seen Wooster be able to find Franson in some pretty dangerous areas, and Franson just kind of outworks the Clear Fork defenders and gets a tough goal.
How about Franson even going into the net, retrieving what she just put in the back there as we take another look at the replay?
You know, what's funny about that is that's a professional move. In professional games, you go and do that because the clock does not stop. High school soccer, the clock stops. You can take as long as you want. They're not going to add any time or anything. So, but I like it. I like the gamesmanship. They're ready to go. They still got some fight in them. They've also, we're going to let Kendall Windsor in on a breakaway. We're going to see how this is going to play out. But
sets it up for the right foot. Hard hit, though.
Yeah, I think that caught everybody by surprise, just that early ball into Windsor, and she was wide open. Couldn't really get the angle back on her shot, but sometimes a goal gives you a little bit of life. We'll see how Wooster responds. You can hear the coach, Coach Bechtel, saying, "Don't let up, Black." I think that is correct. You get to the point of the game where it just feels like it's over, so you can just kind of go out and have some fun and knock the ball around, but you realize you've got a team that's going to compete against you, regardless of the score. And so Wooster showing some fight here. Franson with a great goal, and Wooster's got the ball going in the attacking area one more time.
Traditionally, Wooster, obviously a great program, and you mentioned they'll play a loaded schedule, too. They had 10 wins a season ago against some tough competition, as that one sails just a bit too high for the freshman Sigurino. But this is a team that definitely likes to test themselves, Jesse. They'll come out here, play the likes of Clear Fork on the road, play, they're D1 when they get in the tournament, so they like to play a heavy D1 schedule, and they'll go anywhere, play anybody.
Yeah, they play some Cleveland schools, some Akron schools. They play a tough schedule. I've not seen their schedule this year, but year in and year out, they've got big names on their schedule. And for the most part, they compete year in and year out. They're one of the smaller D1 schools, if I'm not mistaken, but they hold their own.
Last year in this competition, Clear Fork with that young team lost to Wooster 1-0, so Lady Colts looking to get back some of that pride that might have been taken with them with the loss to the Generals and get a one-up on them here in 2021.
I think that was one of the games we talked about. That was a winnable game. They just could not score. There was a late tackle, not called by the officials. You had some chances. You defended well. You kind of one miscue in the back and allows Wooster to score. But that's a game where you felt like a couple ball bounces a couple different ways. It's hit a couple different times. Then it's an easily winnable game, but just wasn't favorable for them then. But tonight is a different story.
Yeah, I'd have to really dive into the schedule and see how many times last year Clear Fork had 4 or more goals. I would venture to guess, Jesse, it was probably only once or twice. They did not have very many outings where they just went bananas in the scoring column.
Yeah, I think one of their key games was that game against Mansfield Christian in a similar setting where they just subbed a ton. And Mansfield Christian, who also had limited depth, and just wore them out. They scored I believe, one early, then a bunch late, and I think that maybe perhaps some of it's another ball in for Franson. Renee comes off the line to get it. Some of their lower conference games, I think they scored a couple more than 4. But you're right, that was not a stat we talked a lot about last year.
So at least so far, Clear Fork's done a nice job kind of tying the offense to the defense until here of recent game action. Wooster had trouble setting up and getting some good, clean looks, but here lately, their star, Franson's been able to catch some space, as has the freshman Sigurino.
Yeah, and the quality of ball that Wooster has played into the attacking third has improved tremendously. That's not a legal play there. Yep, referee's going to bring that back. It's going to be a Wooster. Oh, it's a throw-in and an indirect kick. We'll see what they've called. The ball slipped out of her hands on the throw-in, but then she kicked it. So I think it's an indirect kick for Wooster. In a pretty dangerous area here. Again, in the attacking area on the side. Franson's got some ability in the air. Sigurino's been able to get up a little bit. We'll see what kind of ball they play in.
It's going to be right over the head of Anders, and wow, you can see the frustration on the face of Franson. She was right there.
Yeah, that's a great ball in. Anders, I think, a little late to come out and get it. You can watch here on the replay. Anders kind of breaks for it a little bit late. It's a little overhead. Franson, good touch, fell right to her feet, and that's going to be one she's going to wish she had back.
So Clear Fork dodging a bit of a bullet there, as Wooster could have closed the gap down to 4-2.
Yeah, the game the past 5 or so minutes has really kind of favored Wooster all of a sudden, which is interesting. We've talked about fatigue, and there's another unforced error for Clear Fork. So obviously maybe some growing pains here for Clear Fork of, you know, you've done so well, but didn't quite finish the game out how you'd liked, at least not yet. Another Wooster throw.
Still a chance here for both teams to feel like they can build a little bit of momentum over the last 12 minutes and a half. Generals, though, certainly have had that run of play. We'll see if they can keep it up here. You know, they're keeping the pressure on, Jesse. These girls, you got to give them so much credit for the fight and the guts. Down 4-0, and now it looks like they've got all the energy.
Yeah, Franson's getting the ball again to a dangerous area. Good ball into Sigurino, and just kind of bounces away from her, but bounces right back to Wooster. Just going to kick it right back to Clear Fork.
Lady Colts content. Yeah, just to clear that thing out of there, probably the wise move.
It's kind of that composure type play. There probably was time to you know, if you go out the other way, away from all the pressure, you can keep possession of the ball, but instead you've allowed Wooster to kind of regain another attempt. Wooster has really struggled with the throw-ins. Sometimes it seems so simple, but I've seen really good teams fail to kind of keep possession off their own throw-ins. The player checks two and they throw it over their head, or she goes long and they throw it short. And Wooster has just been, every time they're in attacking area with a throw-in, they've played the ball away from themselves on a throw.
It's going to be the Colts with the throw now. Good look here to Cook. Got some space. And she's just going to blast this one, looking for someone to catch up to it, and she's got a teammate. It's going to be Isabella Annis. Just a little bit firm with that last touch, and it's going to sail on her over the far end line.
I don't know if that throw-in came in. I'm not sure. Looks like it's going to be Clear Fork throw, so Wooster just threw it out of bounds this time. He's trying not to play it out of bounds, I think, but instead has allowed Clear Fork to kind of get some numbers in the attack, and now your only option is really to play it out of bounds.
She just kept backing it up, though, Jesse. And
I don't know how long going to back down the field like that, but she played it back to a teammate who kind of cleared it away. The ball just kind of keeps bouncing through. Big save.
wow.
Hits the bar. Clear Fork just bouncing around the goal right now.
Now the third attempt, no pepper behind that one from McHugh.
Oh, nearly an own goal. All sorts of action here.
Jeez Louise.
Ball was cleared right into Frickel, who went right back to the keeper. Oh, Franson took another shot to the head off a deflection there. She just keeps going. This Wooster team is tough, if nothing else. Clear Fork just hovering around the goal down there for a few minutes. Not getting a fifth so far, but hit the post, nearly an own goal, nearly another opportunity there.
And I've got Clear Fork now with that little spree, Jesse. 19 total shots here tonight.
It feels like maybe just in that last period of a couple minutes there they got that. I don't know. There's a good builder from Clear Fork. Good touch. Oh, just a bit of a heavy touch. I thought she kept that in. Clear Fork subbing 6 players in next time they get a throw, and looks like.
That's been the strategy this entire second half. The first substitution was 6 players, and Coach Bechtel has stuck with that throughout the duration here. And why not? You know, it's paid dividends. They've got a 3-goal advantage.
Yeah, I think it's strategic in multiple ways. That obviously Clear Fork's got the skill to be able to run that many players, and you're facing a team that perhaps does not have that. And a night like tonight where the weather was certainly started hot. It's not quite as hot as it was, obviously, but Clear Fork had struggled to connect some passes here as of late, but there's a good ball in. It's going to be tough. That's a great play by the keeper to come out of her box, out of the area, just clears it away. That's not an easy read, and she read it right, did it right. Good job by Grace.
Costores with 10 saves here in tonight's contest.
And she's had a nice game back there, a couple diving saves, a couple right reads, and certainly coming off her line there to prevent at least a breakaway attempt, if nothing else, and she's done well with it. I like the fight of Franson. I mean, obviously skilled. She's working hard, but she's just pressuring the ball over the field. You're down 3, limited time on the clock, and she knows the only way to get back is you have to get the ball back. And she's just pressing, deflecting the ball, trying to regain possession, or at least an attempt at some point.
Yeah, she and Signorino certainly have never wavered in terms of their hustle and their energy. They've been trying to put on some pressure onto this back line, and here's case in point. Another big opportunity for Franson, one-on-one with the keeper. She's got her second.
Now there's a little bit of gamesmanship out here with the ball again. Franson tried to run and grab the ball again, and Clear Fork just kicked it away from her. Again, the clock has stopped, so neither one really matter. But
here's another look just coming in. The defender didn't really see her, Jesse, and then it's just too easy for a player of her skill set.
Absolutely, and that's probably off the 3rd or 4th opportunity where she just kind of picked the pocket of the last defender for Clear Fork, and this time able to capitalize and give a little bit of a game here. 4-2, about 7 minutes left. Worcester is not done. Clear Fork's had some opportunities as well, but Worcester just keeps fighting, just keeps battling, and Franson is just, she's given everything she has as that attacker right now.
Can the Lady Generals make this thing interesting? Put one more in the back before the end of regulation here. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
I think it's really going to kind of fall on Clear Fork. If Clear Fork keeps giving the ball away like that, Worcester's going to get some more chances. So it's really, can you hang on to the ball in dangerous areas? Could either leave or intentional leave, I don't know, but played right to Windsor, who just kind of missed playing that final ball in. Who's made the right play so many times tonight, but I think just kind of missed that one. Now, what you have to be careful of your Clear Fork is you obviously you feel the pressure of Wooster, but you can't keep giving the ball away. You can't just keep kicking it out of bounds. You know, there's still time. You just got to kind of regain that composure a little bit, bring the ball down, find your teammate. And that's when you've been so well, is when you're able to find your teammate in the attacking third. But they just kind of panic a little bit and kicking the ball away, kicking out of bounds, and right back to Wooster.
Labaki turns, given some space. Now back to the middle, left foot set up. And the back line holds firm that time for the Lady Generals.
She saw a blue ball running down the wing. I think just wanted to cut it back to the middle and try and keep it. But kind of fell right into the 3 defenders there that kind of sandwiched her. Good read by Davidson. Way to settle that ball. That's the composure you need right there from your senior. Annika kind of forced that ball in again. Worcester kind of sits in defensively. I think you really got to kind of attack those corner pockets, and Clear Fork's running into those places, just not finding that ball like they were earlier.
Windsor fighting by the defender, but the keeper there to make the save.
Bit of a heavy touch there from Signorino. Clear Fork's going to win the ball back after that. There's another near bad giveaway for Clear Fork. It's that back pass a couple times has just been a little casual. The referee has pointed that she is onside. No one in Worcester is of belief of that. Oh, what an unselfish play by Windsor.
Sets it up for Cook, and the display continues on full regard here on the video. Windsor, 3 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions from Worcester as how she was onside. In the run of play, she looked to be off. The referee is pointing that the outside back kept her on, but he's right. He was on the line. He had it lined up, so you trust that his judgment is right. But there certainly was some separation quickly after that ball was played. I don't know. But what I love, though, is that's a great unselfish play. A lot of players are going to force that shot. She had kind of taken her way at her angle because of where she received the ball. And so she makes the keeper commit, just lays it off, tap in goal. you probably won't score a much easier goal than that. But Windsor just unselfish, doing the right things all over the attacking area of the field.
Okay, I can go ahead and bring up a replay here, Jesse, so we can get perhaps a better look at it. Taking it back a ways here.
Yeah, it's hard to see there.
I think the pass upfield is coming soon.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah, it's tough without the line, but you can just see the separation already. But the referee points right away. He saw someone that he thought kept it on sides.
Go ahead and continue with the replay here. Right now, Wooster with the ball at midfield. Here's another look at Trinity Cook's second goal of the night.
Here's the Melody blue ball with the ball. Just a bit of a heavy touch. Goes right at the Wooster defender. Cook can apply some pressure. Nearly comes away with it. Clear Fork still does. Finds Windsor. Great ball in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the keeper makes a great play. That's such a tough read. You got to get off your line and just make a play at the ball and make it difficult. And she does. I think she earns herself a goal kick for the work there.
The OH Report instant replay. Boy, I think she would have liked to try to one-time that if she had it all over
That'll
to do
be one
again.
you kind of rethink a lot because you had the ball in front of the goal. The keeper's making a break to you. So just a little touch any direction pretty much gets you a goal.
So that last goal by Cook, now you can sort of exhale a little sigh of relief with the 3-goal differential if you're Clear Fork when things were starting to get a little bit tight. Just you could tell on that sideline too, like they could feel the pressure of Wooster starting to settle in on them a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big goal, and just to kind of slow the game down, give the momentum back to Clear Fork. You know, it's interesting. We went from two teams that really couldn't score that efficiently last year. Now we have a 7-goal game here between the two teams, so it's what a difference a year makes.
Just an exciting brand of soccer all the way around, at least for us in the commentator booths up here. Jesse, loving to see 7 goals in the game. Been a fun one to call.
Yeah, and been some good goals at that, a little bit of everything. Some defensive miscues and some opportunistic moments from teams, but also just some good individual skill, footwork, and finishes too.
Signorino lays it off Franson just outside the 18. Man, so quickly.
Yeah, she cuts that ball so well.
That one off the side post is going to head out of play. Another shot for Wooster, their 12th here of the match.
Clear Fork did a better job of defending Franson there. You know that she is comfortable shooting around the 18-yard line there, and they just collapse on her and didn't give her an angle to shoot, forced her to play to somebody else. The goal kick's going to go right to Wooster, unpressed even. Who plays it right back to Clear Fork. That's kind of been a little bit of the nature of the game. It's just kind of a little bit of ping pong before somebody can settle the ball down, and that ball clearly went off Wooster for the throw-in, but they're going to take it anyways.
Colts win it back, playing it in space.
I like the aggressiveness of the keeper here. She's done well to get off her line and come take away goal-scoring opportunities. Sometimes half the battle of being a keeper is just, you know, just that mental struggle of when do I go, when do I stay, and she's made the right read a lot of times tonight.
Try to play that one backside. Had Nadia Leary waiting, the freshman. Instead, it's a counterattack for Clear Fork. With about 90 seconds left, looking to slather a little icing on the cake. And Windsor, oh, just disrupted.
That's a great defensive play. Great opportunity from Windsor again. Hits the post. And that's the play we saw before. If just a little poke outside, it's going to give you a chance to go a goal, and she does it. It just hits the post. And a great defensive effort. I tell you, this Worcester team does not quit. You know, for a game that's kind of, it's obviously over in terms of the score, Worcester has continued to battle on both ends of the field.
Final minute of play here at the Lady Colt Corral. Where LCP is going to get a victory here to kick off the 2021 season. And certainly, I know there's some high expectations out here, always, for Lady Colts to be successful. But I think this year they kind of had circled coming in with how well they performed during the summer, talking to some of the players. They feel like they put in the work, Jesse, and they were ready for a big-time year.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some dates circled on the calendar. Everybody's going to want to be watching. Clear Fork, Ontario, Clear Fork, Madison, Clear Fork, Lexington. I think there's again another year of just great girls soccer in the area. I think we'll have some of the top teams in the state are going to be right here in Richland County. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So that will do it, folks, for regulation. Clear Fork, a 5-2 winner here.
Yeah, such a great game tonight. It kind of took a little bit to get I think both teams to kind of settle in and figure out their attack. A lot of giveaways, a lot of just kind of ping-pong and back and forth, and not really settling down and keeping composure and possession. And then as the game played on, you started to find the right pockets, the right opportunities, and Clear Fork certainly was advantageous tonight at the hands of Kendall Windsor with 3 goals and 2 assists. Hit the post at the end, another near goal. I mean, almost looking at a 5-goal night. What a great night for her. Certainly as you look at the Wooster team as well, Franson with a great game, 2 goals, a couple good opportunities as well. I mean, some really terrific soccer team and players available as we watched tonight. Kind of a great opening night. A lot of good talent, a lot of learning I think we saw from both teams. 2 different styles of substitutions and depth, and then just the amount of talent that's kind of represented from both teams is really just fun to watch.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with final stats and also have an interview with our player of the game. I think it's got to be Kendall Windsor. We'll be right back.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
assists as a sophomore, absolutely showing out like a star here tonight. And you came off the bench to start the match, but you had the energy and the motor all night long. Tell me about that mindset when you're always going at 110%. Quick question for you about the number change. I understand that you were supposed to wear number 22 when you ended up in number 6. What happened?
What's the difference between you at this point last year and you right now? Yeah, so obviously a great game. 3 goals, 2 assists. If I remember correctly, you probably could have had a couple more goals, right? Yeah, that's all right. Listen, I thought your play was terrific. Every time you touched the ball, a lot of good things were happening. Last year you had a great team that did not score a lot of goals. This year, it looks like you're kind of bringing that offensive firepower. What's your role? You keep talking about your team and what you bring to the team. What's your role with the team right now? Yeah. How much have you grown as a player and as a leader from 1 year? I mean, as a freshman, not every freshman gets to play varsity, and you did last year. Now it's your sophomore season. Expectations are a little different. How much have you grown, do you think? Yeah, excellent. I think you did a great job tonight. Great game. Congratulations. You can go enjoy it with your team.
All right, so Kendall Windsor, our player of the game. Hopefully everybody was able to hear her out there at home. It looked like her microphone was coming in just a little bit weak, but I'm sure, Jesse, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to catch up with her in the future. She certainly seems like she is a star in the making for this club. And let's go ahead and take a look at the final stats here of the evening that will kind of tell the story of Clear Fork's 5-2 win over the Lady Generals here tonight. 21 shots, 13 of those on target, and a lot of them generated through just finding Windsor, kids with speed, getting into the attacking third. There was a lot of good things that you can take away from this game for Clear Fork offensively. They did really look sharp.
Absolutely, and that was kind of one of our talking points. You look at the top 3 numbers you can see for Clear Fork: 5 goals, 21 shots, 13 shots on target. I don't know that they saw those kind of numbers at all last year. I think just the way they were moving the ball, and then I think the big thing for Clear Fork was the defensive giveaways. I think they gave up 2 goals off bad giveaways, nearly a third at the beginning of the game. Just a lot of poor giveaways. I think if they can clean that up defensively, this team is going to compete with a lot of area teams, a lot of the top teams around the state. There is a lot of talent here, and now that they can score some goals and they've kind of got a threat going forward, I think it's really going to change the landscape of this team.
And then over on the other side for Wooster, they had a star in Franzen that was able to do some nice things both in the first half and in the second half, able to capitalize with both of the goals for the Lady Generals, and nobody ever really quit. That back line seemingly got tired as the game went along, and Clear Fork had the fresher legs and were able to do a lot of damage offensively. However, you got to give a ton of credit where it's due to this team to never giving up. They really did battle from end to end.
Absolutely. They fought. They fought hard. They competed. They were, when it was 4-0, they were still out there chasing down loose balls, and that's how they scored one. All of a sudden, the momentum started to shift because they had scored a goal, and then they had another opportunity, and then they scored another goal, and all of a sudden you felt like, oh, this game is competitive again, and they just kind of kept battling, and then Clear Fork was able to kind of get one back to kind of wrap the game up. But you watch this Wooster team compete, and they're going to work hard. I think obviously coach there has done a good job of he's got 13 girls that pretty much played tonight, and so they're just going to kind of have to battle every game. They're going to have to battle and kind of work, and
outwork other teams and just be in great shape and just kind of compete at that level. And that's not easy to do. But so far, I think his team worked hard. I thought they were competitive. I thought they were getting good opportunities. I think part of their problem is again, the giveaways. It's early in the season, so giveaways happen. But I think for these guys, every time you give the ball away, then you're trying to retreat to a new position, you're exerting more energy, and then trying to battle back. And that's just difficult to do sometimes with limited numbers.
Well, it was certainly a fun game to watch from start to finish. Wooster came out. They were kind of running things at the beginning of the game before the Lady Colts settled in. They got the 2 big goals from Windsor in the first half. Towards the end of the half, when it looked like we might go into the break, tied 0-0, and then that spark, boy, did it erupt, Jesse, into just a flame for them in the second half. She was able to set up her teammate Trinity Cook early in the second. Windsor with her 3rd goal of the match about 10 minutes into the second, and then the icing on the cake with Cook coming away with 1 more goal at the end. So Clear Fork victorious here tonight, 5-2. I'll give you the final word on what it was that we just partook in. What did we just see, Jesse?
Well, I think you saw 2 teams learning as we're watching there. You see, Clear Fork, I think the more they played, the better they got. I mean, we especially offensively. And that had been kind of that question mark. There's talent here. Undoubtedly, there is talent on this Clear Fork team. It's can they score goals? And tonight, the answer was a resounding yes, with a big 5-goal performance. Hat trick from one of your sophomores. I mean, those are the kind of things you want to see and want to hear as you're moving into game 2 of the season.
Well, you heard it here from Ryder, where you always get brighter. That is the word on soccer here tonight at the Colt Corral, where final score 5-2 in favor of the Lady Colts. That's it for us. Thanks to our amazing crew, Jory Hollenbeck switching here tonight, along with myself on graphics, Storm Blunchley, Garrett Parlett on the cameras, and then Jesse Ryder and myself with the commentary. We've got plenty more soccer action coming up throughout the rest of the week. Volleyball tomorrow night as well here on the OH Report, so keep it locked in. We are your home for high school sports all fall. But for now, so long from the Valley.